We are starting a new project, and oh my goodness, there's nothing more exciting than a new project. And look at what it is. When I saw this kit, it's terrible, but I immediately ran out and bought it. I don't usually do that, but I couldn't resist. I just thought I try to make one ornament for each of my 6 children every year for Christmas. And when I saw this one, I thought, this is the one I want it to be. Of course, there's 6. And so I'm going to try to do a video for each one of the separate ornaments. Ornaments, although you may think, oh, ornament, I'll start by trying to do an ornament that won't be as big a project as doing a full stocking or something. Well, the truth is, ornaments can really be a challenge. So I'm trying to get you straight here. There we go. That's better. Ornaments can also be a challenge because they are smaller. Their pieces are smaller, so they can be a little bit more fiddly to work with. So I don't know that I would recommend an ornament project as your very first. Although you can find some sets of ornaments. I did find one for some Easter ornaments that I did a few years back, and they were called oversized. And now that would be a good place to start. You can learn a lot of techniques and just do something small and get it done more quickly. So anyway, this guy, this cute little, looks kind of like a snowman mug to me. Oh, that's what his name is, Snowman Mug. That's where we're going to start. So it says, refer to the design chart and color guide for floss and everything. I've got everything loaded into my box. This is a secondary box that I have because I am still working stockings that have been ordered for Christmas this year. Those I'm not working on camera. So it says, first of all, to applique the cocoa, which is number 2, to the back of the mug rim, which is number 1. So let's see what we can find. The cocoa, I'm guessing, is going to be brown. 2. There it is. I better put on some spectacles or we're going to be in trouble right from the start. Okay, this is my backup pair of scissors. They do not have the big handles. 77, no, I want 2. Number 2. And I work my ornaments exactly in the same way that I would work a stocking or any other felt project, and that is just starting doing the cutouts and all the different parts of it, just as it says. So it says number 1 is the rim, which it looks like is light blue. Do I see a number 1? There it is. Okay. So here is my cocoa, and right here is number 1 is the rim. So get my box out of the way so you can see where we're at and what we're doing. But again, if you have not worked a kit, if you want to get set up for success, which is what I call it, I recommend that you go to my video, How to Get Started with Bucilla and Other Felt Kits. I will put that up on a card somewhere up in the beginning of the video here so that you can see that. And that will also give you links to all of the things that you see, which would be, my box, my bead holders, bead, sequin and bead holders, the scissors, everything really that you've got So these videos are going to be just kind of, hopefully, meditative. Just watching the process. I won't do a whole lot of instruction unless there's something unique that I have not given an instruction for in the past in other videos. So I've done a lot of talking about how to cut the felt and how to applique, etc. So I won't go into too much of that. So I will just mostly be working, and maybe I'll find some nice music to add to my video so that you don't have to hear me talk to you the whole time. We'll see. I had a viewer at one point say, cut out the music. So I haven't put any music in since. Haven't had any complaints, but I'm sure you don't want to hear me drone on and on as you watch me cut these small pieces out here. Wow, I didn't realize how much these scissors can hurt my hands. These are not the large finger loops on these scissors. They're just the standard. And I can feel that they're going to make a real mark on my thumb there. And I have a little bit of black line that I left behind. There we go. There's our two pieces right here. And it says 2 is going to be right there. So it's going to go right there. And when you are putting your piece on, you want to be sure that its markings are going to line up. In other words, these lines are going to line up with what's on there. This line right here needs to line up with what's on there. This line needs to line up going across over here, and these two lines need to line up with number 3. So we've got a lot going on right here in this little space. And once I get it lined up the way that I want it to be, I think it's like that. Then I just give it a pin, and let's see. Oops. It said that we are simply going to applique these two together. So we're just going to stitch them together. So this is what I do. Sometimes my good floss holder is over in with my stocking kits that I'm using. So I just take the cardboard from in the kit and cut some slits in it, and you can use that as a floss holder. Very inexpensive, cheap, as in costs nothing, and yeah, you can still keep your floss neat and tidy. Here. So to applique, if you read through the instructions, it tells you all these things that I blab about. Applique is always going to be with a single stitch, a single strand of the embroidery floss. And the other strands you can put back for the next time you need it. And then I have again, this is all my backup equipment here. So this is just a backup pin cushion that I use. And ouch, if you don't put it in the right way, it stabs you. On the side with the safety pin, I have embroidery needles. On the side with the hat pin, I have my bead needle. I'll probably grab some more from my other kit because I like to keep them threaded so I don't have to thread and rethread. And a single strand with a knot in the single end. And we're going to just give it some stitching down. It really doesn't matter where you start stitching at all on this one. Sometimes it can help to start in the center of a particular piece, but of this piece it really doesn't matter one way or the other. Okay, there's piece 1 and 2. So I need to get my pencil and check off the box. Embroider and sequin the marshmallow, number 3. Embroider and sequin the marshmallow. It looks like that has got a dark line right here around it, which that is going to be 1 strand of outline stitch of black. And then it has this star as white for white sequins. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Oh, it does say cording hangers, 3 strands of white floss that sits 6 inches long to make a piece of cording. Fold the cording in half to form a loop and make 6 of them before you start. And that is something that for me can be kind of tedious to make the cording because I can't do it in all circumstances where I'm working. A lot of times I'm working sitting at a doctor's office or something like that. So whenever I make cording, I usually make a full length of floss of it and then I save them. So I do have some already done, because it's going to talk to us here about inserting the cording between the 2 layers of felt for this marshmallow. So I'm assuming the marshmallow's white. We're going to find the marshmallow. It is number 3. Get these out of the way so they don't. Let's see. Number 3, little marshmallow. Oh, look how tiny it is. Okay. I was looking for something, I was imagining anyway that it was going to be something a lot bigger. Let's see, it can be a little difficult to try to juggle around my microphone and everything. But this is probably one of my biggest tips for working these projects, these felt projects, is always rough cut your piece out, taking the number of the piece with you out of your big, large piece. There is no way you could get a good, accurate cut on such a small piece while using it or trying to work with it inside that large sheet of felt. So I always cut away, rough cut out my piece first. You may think, gosh, Carla, this year I'm making 11 stockings before the 1st of December. That's a lot. You could go so much faster if you took some shortcuts. I've never taken a shortcut yet. I do them completely. A lot of people say, "Oh, don't stitch down your." I see my assistant is on his way here. Don't stitch things down if you're just going to put sequins on them to hold them down. Just let the sequins hold them down. Nope, I always stitch them down. So all the way around, unless it indicates to just tack them so that they have a little bit more 3D quality. Of course, I do that. But I always take the extra step and try to do the right way. Here comes Fanny. He's going to move my camera and just see if everything's going okay in his mind. Okay, there is that piece cut out. My bell has rung, my timer's gone off, saying I am all right, getting back to where we were with videoing for
Here
today.
Is
so
the marshmallow.
I will now catch you back when we're ready to work on that. Goodness, here it is.
Here is my hanging. Oh, here comes my furry assistant. Okay. So it says, embroider and sequin the marshmallow, fold it in half, stuff and applique the edge, making sure to insert the cording hanger. Here's the cording hanger. Between the two layers of felt, applique the marshmallow to the cocoa. So the first thing we need to find out here is what is the embroidery. So on here, we see just this black ring around here. See this black ring right here. And so if we go and look up that line, that is a single strand of black for the outline stitch. So that's the first thing we have to do here. So let's see what we've got here. I don't have any needles threaded with black. So let's get some black. No, 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 no. I don't understand it, but this crazy animal, no, thinks he wants to bite my needles and my pins. This is a new development in his history. Okay. Oh, goodness. If I put on my glasses, I just might be able to thread that needle. Let's see now. It is a needle with a very small eye, but there we go. Now, because this is going to be a single strand, I am going to put a knot only in a single strand of the end. I won't pull the two ends together and knot them. Now, when I'm doing an outline stitch, and it's going to go right to the edge, I'm going to start in just a little bit and come up. I always try to work my outline stitch, if at all possible, like it's a smile. Now, whoops. I'm going to come in and kind of what I call split the difference between the edge of the felt and where I came up. Okay. And this is going to allow the floss to go all the way around the piece of felt there. Now I can hold my floss down and continue my outline stitch going in and out. Oops. It does get to be a little tedious when you need to get this outline stitch right to the edge of your felt, because felt being not a woven material is real easy to pull through. So this is what I have devised over the years to be able to make that work. Hopefully he is done fussing. We will hold on a minute. Mr. Complainer is at work. Just try to finish this marshmallow real quickly. Except I keep getting other things tangled and in the way. Now, I'm almost to the end, so I'm going to do one more small stitch there. And then I'm going to go all the way around and come up right where that stitch ended. And then I'm going to go down just on the other side of that stitch. That will kind of hold it in place. There we go. Okay. Now I just need to make my knot. I'm a little confused about this dot right here. Look at the picture. I see dots. Now, I guess if I look really closely on the picture, I can see 1, 2, 3 sequins, and I do see one right here on the side. So that dot is for a sequin. And now I just need to get my floss knotted off. Don't like that knot at all. I always do two anyway, but there we go. That looks tight enough. Goodness, I can't pick anything up. This goes on this side. Clip that off. And now I need to thread this bead needle with some white, since I'm going to be applying white sequins. And sequins are always applied with a single strand that is threaded into your needle, but then you knot both ends together, so you're actually working the sequin with a double strand of floss. And I find bead needles extremely difficult to thread. Although I think I got that one. Okay. I did. And on relatively the first try. Okay. So I'm going to bring the two ends together and knot those two together. And even though I only threaded one strand through the eye of my needle,
I have 2 strands that I can work with. Okay. Now, let's see. We need white and we need clear beads. There we go. Frequently, you'll find things like this where your clear beads end up with a couple of sequins or something in there. No worries. If you can't get them separated, it's not really a big deal. Obviously, you just don't use them. Oh, and then you can dump your sequins all over the table. I like to put a few sequins in the cap. I find that's easier to work with. So I am going to go up as close as I can to the center of that dot, and then you pick up a sequin, and holding it down you can pull through to your knot, and now you just pick up a bead. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but they're easier to pick up, I find, when they're in the cap. And there's just a few of them than when I've got a whole bunch of them in the container. And you just keep working your way along here. Sorry, I bumped your camera there. This floss is a little, what I would call dry, and a way to make it less problematic is to use some thread magic, is what it's called. That's the brand name, or thread conditioner. You can just Google that. You can find it at really any sewing or craft center. You can also find it online at Amazon. My thread conditioner happens to be in my other box. Otherwise, I would use it. And it's fine. Kind of just something I've noticed over the years, and I've done stockings now here since the early 80s. Lots of them. So sometimes your kit, the floss seems real dry, and I don't know what causes that. It could be just the difference in quality of the floss for individual kits, or it could just be that that kit has been on a shelf for a while, maybe. I don't know. I really don't have any good reasons for it. But some floss is very, very smooth, and some floss is rather rough, or what I would call kind of dry. And the solution to helping you not have so many knotting issues is the thread conditioner. So let me see here. I need to put away my unused sequins. The sequins in this kit I love. They are so shiny and iridescent. Some kits the sequins are that way, and some kits they aren't. So it's just whatever they were able to purchase for collecting up that kit at that time. But these are particularly iridescent, and I like that.
All right, so we have got this marshmallow ready to go. It needs to be folded in half, applique the edge, making sure to insert the cording. So I'm going to fold it in half here. I'm tucking down a little thread that was sticking out there. And we're going to, I'm going to tie this particular cording in a knot so that they're both knotted. I only have a knot on the end of one strand, or one end, I should say. So I want to knot it so that I've got both. See, like that. Now I can tuck that, I think it goes kind of in the corner of this marshmallow. But I find that if I've got a good knot on it, it's less likely to pull out. And that's what you don't want, is for it to pull out. And it looks like, I'm looking at the picture, the photograph here. It's kind of in the corner, like I've got it here on the marshmallow. So I think that's right. So my plan here is to stitch this side about halfway. Then I can add my stuffing and close the rest up. And then I'll be able to stitch it onto this, which it will go right there. Okay, so let's get a needle threaded with some white floss. Again, a single strand, but this is going to be a needle that is an embroidery needle, not a bead needle. As you can see, they give you 2 needles. I spent so many years just using those 2 needles they gave me and threading and unthreading continuously with whatever it was I needed for that moment. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little wiser. Not much, but a little. And you can save yourself a whole lot of work and a whole lot of time by just grabbing a package of needles. Grab a package of embroidery needles and a package of bead needles, and then you don't have to rethread every time. You can just leave them threaded and grab them when you need another embroidery needle of white thread. And that's why I keep mine. I know that the safety pin over here is I'll let you see it while I'm talking. The safety pin over here denotes that these are embroidery needles, and my hat pin here denotes that these are bead needles. I only have one bead needle right now, and that so. And one benefit of felt is that it sticks to itself. So you need to pin less. You can just hold it and it will stay pretty much put. Now I've got a knot on the end of my thread here, so I'm going to go in between the 2 pieces of felt so that my knot can be sandwiched and not show, sandwiched between the 2 pieces of felt. There we go. And then I can come up from the back. Now, I do a little extra thing in that I like to go run at least 1 stitch between my loop there. See if I did that right. Maybe, sorry, here. So that it's highly unlikely that that's going to pull out. Now, granted, what kind of weight is there going to be on a Christmas ornament hanging on the tree? None, really. So it's kind of just OCD, I guess. Oh, here he comes again. He's going to scare me. My boss here. any. And then I will grab a little bit of stuffing. Gosh, just not set up right today at all. Everything is catching and tangling. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. No. I'm going to come down the side a little bit, but not all the way, just about halfway. I think it'll make it easier to get a little bit of stuffing right in there. So let me just grab it. And it really is, I think that's even too much. So it's more like that. I can hardly see it in my hand. And just tuck that in there. And find it's easier to stuff. I spent a lot of years putting my stuffing in before I even started to sew. And again, I try to allow you, in watching these videos, some benefit of the years of making that I've done so that you can skip some of the learning and be able to work a little smarter right from the get-go, which is really kind of nice. And you can see that because I am closing up a piece that is loose, that I'm going all the way around with a whip stitch as opposed to an applique stitch, because we have to close up this little section here that we just put stuffing in. Okay, and when I get to the end, I give it a knot and two. Now, I would normally, take my needle and go into this piece and then pull it out and cut it over here on this edge right here. But since I need to stitch it down, I'm just going to leave that white thread there. And you need to, my directions are sticking to me. There, and we're going to place it right here so that it covers the indication lines here. Just like that. And now I can go down in. And I'm actually going to come back up here because I want to be more up at the top. And I stitch, if it has indication lines, I stitch it down along those indication lines. And this is not really an applique here. This is just kind of tacking it onto the main piece where it's going to live. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of stitches. In fact, it has probably about half of the stitches that I have already put in it to close up its little marshmallow piece. And you can tuck your stitches frequently, kind of in between or under the sequins. It's a good way to just kind of, I hide them
if I can. Now I'm going to do my double knot back here. And there it is. Okay.